Right, welcome to episode 9 of Last Men Standing, the Tantrum podcast. I'm Stu. I'm joined by Richie and Steve.
Hello.
Which we do every week now. Well, we do the usual drink thing. Oh, beer.
What change?
You on, Richie?
Same as ever. It's a nice bottle of lager.
The German variety.
Mm-hmm. It's brewed in the UK.
I have the customary Jack and Coke, but in a pint glass this time.
Nice.
No product placements here at all. News? Anything this week, news-wise? You're usually the news guy, Steve. You keep on top of all that shit.
Nah, nothing this week.
It's really has been a barren week, hasn't it?
Really slow, yeah.
More shows
again. It seems like, from what I could see on Instagram and stuff, shows are opening back up in the States.
Yeah, they're doing like
Florida, I'm honest.
Socially distant field things.
And more talking drive-throughs as well. Seen about a bit more of that.
There's been a lot said about drive-in festivals here in the UK as well, which, well, I suppose people have got to start somewhere as we emerge from this, but I think it doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't appeal to me. Even if I had a car, it wouldn't appeal. But just to put a light and sort of spin of humour on things, you know, one of the guys who's supposed to be playing one of these festivals is Gary Newman.
In cars.
His biggest hit.
Okay, I mean, I get the idea of it. I don't see it really working in the UK particularly. I mean, like, the weather's so fucking bad here.
That's it.
One torrential downpour that you're just going to see nothing or hear anything except rattling of rain off your window.
Windscreen wipers going like that.
Think about it from that perspective, Stu. Think about it, right? We've all seen the footage of that really, really bad weekend of Glastonbury in the 1990s, where it rained constantly and, you know, people were up to their knees in mud. Can you imagine 6 hours at a vehicle, which is heavier, sat on mud if it's, you know, that kind of weather?
Especially,
you can't get your car out. God.
Exactly.
Especially if you're at, like, Glastonbury and they're making you listen to fucking Coldplay or some pish like that.
You know, it's bad enough all them years ago, slightly deviant, but still a mass gathering. That year when they moved the British Grand Prix, Formula One, earlier in the year, than in its traditional place of the summer, and all of those cars stuck in the mud because it happened to fall in a bad weekend. They're getting all the local farmers to come up with their tractors and tow everybody out. You can see a repeat of that happening.
Yeah, we'll keep the farmers in business. I'm sure somebody's paying them. You know, I don't see it, really. I think once they get down to the 1 metre rule, they'll be able to open up clubs and bars again, and that'll be it. That's when it'll properly start. Oh, well. Right then.
I don't
think there's fuck all else in the news.
Nothing happened this.
Let's do that. What have we been listening to this week?
That's been on the ground as well, actually. Somebody else go first.
You want to go first, Richie?
Yeah, I'll go first. I got a nice little vinyl bundle through a Discogs seller recently. And to be fair, there was only one album in there that I wanted, but there were some other ones that others can enjoy. We have Corridors of Power by Gary Moore.
Oh, nice.
I enjoy the album a lot. It's a good album.
Yeah, it's an excellent record. It's one of his best of the rock era. I mean, there were all good albums of his rock era. Yeah. This one ranks up at the top It's a great record. It's just enjoyable from start to finish. And something a little bit different. Masterpieces, the best of Sky.
Weird.
Weird.
Nah, that's weird. I don't know what it is, but it just looks weird.
It's I'm surprised you never heard it, Steve. It's kind of 70s keyboard and guitar driven prog, but they used to do covers of classical pieces.
Ah, that's in shit. I've heard of them, but I've never.
I can't say I'm hugely familiar with Sky.
I was very surprised by that record. I ended up really, really enjoying it. Put it on, Steve, you like Malmsteen, okay?
Nah.
No doubt you like the little classical bits that they occasionally put into accept songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in particular, Metal Heart, where it's got the furry Lisa in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, just think about that, but not heavy.
Oh, see, you lost me. You had me, and then you lost me again.
Well, it's not going to be heavy if it's from the early 70s, you know? I mean, it's got more in common with Emerson, Lake and Palmer than Rhapsody of Fire.
Black Sabbath from the early 70s.
Think of it as ELP, but without all of the keyboard overindulgence, shall we say. There's no going off the hook here. They kind of keep to the point with the melodies.
Fair enough.
Anything else?
No, I haven't spun the Sydney Divine album yet. Yeah,
Probably for the bit.
Divine album in this bundle, and I haven't listened to it yet.
What about you, Steve? You thought of anything yet?
Yeah, I know you look through the old Bandcamp list. I listened to I think they're a new band called Saber.
Saber.
Saber. There's probably ones called Saber and Sabir, and there's a lot of ones, but they're Californian. They're on Church Records, and Trevor from Haunt's playing drums on this single. It's just a single. There's 2 songs, but it's really good. Really sort of stark, basic production, so you can just hear everything. It's just kind of like I suppose it sounds almost like a demo, really.
It probably is just a demo if it's just.
It probably is, yeah. And it's just, I think, just three of the guys from the band, and then Trevor on drums. He's a good drummer, like.
He's drummed on Haunt.
Yeah, aye. But this sounds like he's been practicing. There's like double kick and shit in there too. It's really good. Saber, and then I kind of went on a weird little black metal tangent for some reason and listened to Mayhem for a bit.
Mayhem.
What one was I listening to? I can't remember. I listened to Death Crush, first EP. I think I listened to. No, I think that was it actually for Mayhem. And then I went to Emperor as well. Weirdly, and I quite enjoyed it. I got bored a bit towards the end. I tapped out after 8 songs. 10, I was done. I don't really listen to a lot of black metal, but now and again I'll have a wee desire for it. But I think Emperor was a bit kind of orchestral for me. I kind of like black metal when it's a bit more primitive. I don't really like it when they started getting all the orchestras in with the Dimmu Borgir stuff. It's kind of
melody.
Not even the melody, it just got a bit overblown.
I know, I'm just taking the piss.
I can't remember it was earlier, but still good. I worked on that. Remember that Vardas record, Red Eye, the more recent one. Whacked down as well. That's a really good album. Enjoyed that. That's been about it, really, for me.
I saw Vardas play somewhere recently. I can't remember where it was.
Last time you saw them, I think, was in Ibiza.
Oh yeah, it would have been. Yeah, Hard Rock Hill. Okay.
But that was a few years back. That
was it.
That was probably at that time. That was before the album came out, which was 2016. So you're a year before that, probably.
There you go.
All
relative, isn't
it? Yeah. I still think 1970 was 30 years ago.
Yeah. Is that
it? Yeah, that's me.
That's my point to shake my head, Steve, because I kind of get past black metal.
I have dipped my toe.
A bit of a minefield, black metal.
There's bits and pieces I enjoy.
Yeah.
But not all of it. I'm certainly not a black metal aficionado.
I have to be in the mood for it. really. I can't really call myself a black metal fan, but now and again I'll just whack on something. But it tends to be more where it was at the crossover bit between like heavy metal and death metal and punk. It's like where it started.
Yeah.
When it went a bit further is kind of where I tapped out of it. They kind of, I think, where they sort of stopped doing riffs and went more towards the tremolo picking and just the constant that kind of stuff. I kind of sort of tapped out of it there. When the drums got really good, like when they got really good at like blast beats, I kind of went, nah, it's too clinical for me.
You learn how to play it.
Yeah, prefer the kind of earlier stuff. But that being said, there's like I love Darkthrone, who are considered a black metal band, but they kind of came out of black metal really.
Yeah.
And their later stuff's more speed metal, doom metal, punky kind of stuff. There's really no. It sounds a bit more like the first black metal, like as in Venom, Bathory, that kind of stuff. So I'm into that. It's just more the kind of middle bit.
Yeah.
Howling at frostbitten moons with your broadsword clasped
No
firmly
denying
in
their
your hand.
influence, but are Venom truly a black metal band? You think? I know.
Yeah, they're the first one.
I don't know.
They invented it. We call them
They're definitely
their album
inspired.
black metal.
You cannot deny
No,
that.
they invented it. There was no such thing as black metal till Venom.
Nah, I
Venom,
can't agree with that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's true. It's fact.
It's the
There's
except.
not
It's the
no
ex-
black metal band would exist without Venom. Venom are to black metal what Black Sabbath are to heavy metal.
I'd go along with that.
Can't deny how much of an impact it had. Cannot deny that.
Invented it.
I wouldn't put them in the territory. Having said that, maybe I've just heard the wrong types of black metal.
No, it evolved. Their original black metal was Venom, Bathory, Hellhammer, then later Celtic Frost. That's what was considered black metal. And then it went. Then all those kind of first wave of bands, Darkthrone and Mayhem, Immortal, took from those bands and went and did their own thing with it.
Yeah.
Mixed in different kind of influences, I guess. But that was Venom and are considered first wave black metal. The Norway Church Burners are considered second wave black metal. And then Cradle of Filth are considered hammer black metal.
Well, there's a news story. That on their band that went on a bit of a smashing spree around a graveyard.
Oh yeah, the Boys in the Thunderslave.
Yeah.
Oh,
I checked them out. I quite liked what I heard as well.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be waiting a while for the album.
It did do quite a bit for the publicity because, I was going through social media and I saw some folk, on those traditional metal groups, etc., sharing their content after that happened.
Yeah.
They were on stupid thing to do. It's done good for their publicity.
They were on Loudwire and shit. Loudwire put a story out and I was like, fuck, that's what we need to do to get publicity. Loudwire wouldn't have fucking looked anywhere near them.
They'll find somebody to release that album and they'll get some publicity off
of God, aye. Of course they will. I think, like, I get the label making a stand, and this kind of is the year for making stands, but if you're going to make a stand, you have to make it across the board. You can't still be selling Burzum records in your distro section.
Yeah.
It
just embarrasses them, really, by not finding a distinction between that. I mean, hypocrisy is the ultimate luxury.
Thunderslave kicked over some flowers. Mayhem killed people.
Yeah.
Burned down churches. It's and the less said about Varg, the better.
Yeah.
In terms of his political opinions and viewpoints.
Yeah.
So you can't endorse one and not the other.
It's Be consistent with your views if you're going to have them and be public.
It was an interesting watching that thread when they put it up, and I was just like, right, get the popcorn out, this will be good. Interesting.
Yeah, it's always it's like the litmus test of public opinion, Watch out.
Let it right in the middle.
Yeah, it totally is. People are either like, we just don't care, just put the record out, don't give a fuck. Or there was people who were, taking a firmer moral stance and some who were just arseholes. So
It's that thing. Can you separate the art from the artist?
Cross section of society.
Because if you can't separate the art from the artist, you're not going to be listening to very much stuff.
No.
Right.
There's very few people with.
You're not going to be watching a lot of telly either. You're not going to be seeing any movies.
Yeah.
You're going to be a Mormon, really.
You have the Osmonds.
If you went down the route of
Records and telly. They had everything covered.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, this week I played an Osmonds song. Somebody sent me one.
It's funny that, you say about separating the art from the artist. I remember about 20 years ago, somebody called me a bigot because I was enjoying a Ted Nugent song.
Perfect example.
Yeah, his beliefs don't marry with mine, but can't deny
Exactly.
Some good tunes.
They don't marry with mine either. It doesn't mean you can't put it a tune.
I'm not going to hear Strangle. I'm not going to
Can't agree with him, but I like Kiss.
Yeah. I'm not going to put on Stranglehold and suddenly think I can't play this anymore. That's just a tune.
I mean, I think there is a line. I'm sure we've talked about this before. It was probably when the whole Lost Prophets thing happened.
Yeah.
That's kind of a line you can't cross. Like, if that occurs, you can't put your record on.
Aye, but they are a slightly bad example because the Lost Prophets were and always were shite.
If you're a fan.
If you're a fan, you've got questionable taste to begin with.
Yeah.
So everything beyond that,
Imagine if you were like, for you, Kiss or me with Maiden, if something like that came out, what do you do?
I just don't think it would because I've got a better judge of character.
Yeah, I know. We all loved Rolf Harris back in the day, though.
That's very true. Very true.
I wouldn't have sat in that, though.
Us old school boys, though, we did sort of go through a similar thing in a way, when even though he'd left the band nearly a decade before, when Dave Holland was done.
Aye, yeah, I'm not going to stop listening to Priest albums.
Absolutely not.
Nah, it's a funny one.
But yeah, there's definitely a line somewhere. I suppose it's different for everybody, innit?
I think had the label released that record, nobody would have said, "Oh, you should be doing that. Have you seen what they've done?"
Yeah, I mean,
a couple of people would, but a couple of people would do that anyway.
They weren't generating enough publicity for anybody to know, really.
No.
I mean, they leaked the information themselves to the label, so I'm assuming it's a publicity stunt, They
filmed it.
They volunteered the information forward that nobody was covering. I mean, it's clear.
I don't know. I just know they filmed it and somebody got hold of the footage and sent it on.
It's said in the wee blurb that they came forward to the label and said this has happened.
Oh, they fessed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic publicity stunt, and by all accounts, it'll probably work great for them.
If it is a publicity stunt, it's a belter. Yeah, it's worked.
Like that guy with the imaginary band that booked a tour,
Oh yeah,
Jared Threaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a nobody that nobody was covering, and then he became an international story. He can do anything now, and probably find someone to release it, and he's now a media person.
Yeah.
Clever.
playing the media, I suppose, isn't
it? Yeah. Right, I suppose me then. This week I've been listening to quite a lot of Wild Hearts, another band who liked to do the occasional thing for the press that gathered up some.
Or smashing up their offices if they have to.
Not always on purpose either.
Some column inches when it's needed, but yeah. I did the last Wild Hearts album, Renaissance Men. I hadn't played it for a while, and actually I did something that I've started doing occasionally now, which is when I come in from work and I walk into the house, I'll just ask Alexa to play a selection of stuff from any one particular band, and it just because it throws them out at random. I then just as I'm getting ready to go and make dinner or whatever, I'll just hear some tunes playing around the house. And it's always a bit of a roll of the dice. And then usually from that, I'll latch onto something that I like, and then I'll go and, pummel the discography to death, which I did with the Wild Hearts this week. Yeah, what can you say? Great band, always great. Got a new album coming out next year, I think. I know they're writing it. So
Yeah, CG was on that download thing. Actually, there's an interview with
yeah.
CG on it. And he was saying that he'd been writing stuff.
He's been doing a lot of his social media stuff. He's got a lot of it up where he's been demoing things and also showing you how to make curries, which he's particularly good at as well.
Nice. I think he's doing a solo record too, actually.
Yeah, I think so. Not sure if I've listened to anybody else really.
I've listened to a massive amount of stuff this week, to be honest.
Yeah, well, like a big work week for me, so I've really just been, and I've not been able to listen to music at work, which I would usually do. That's usually where I get through a lot of stuff. So
yeah, I'm listening to less because I'm in the car less.
Yeah.
Or at all.
So lots of Wild Hearts, but just never a bad thing.
Cool.
Right, well, we just jump into the main topic of the episode then.
Let's go.
Well, this was a request from David Green, who watches every week. Hello, David.
Hi, David.
You're watching now, and we're focused on you.
Super fan.
See you. So David kind of suggested, and we're going to kind of take it in an ever so slightly different avenue, but keep the broad topic the same. So he wanted us to discuss kind of like best and worst venues that we've played or been to.
We're not naming names for the bad ones.
Yeah, so well, I mean, we all
we'll
have
talk about them. We just won't name them.
We all have to play the game here, so we'll use some broad strokes, you know, when we discuss this. But hey, that would be vinegar strokes. We'll just get into the kind of. I mean, you can mention great venues you've loved playing. That's all good publicity. But generally, what do we expect from a venue that we go to play? What makes a good gig experience from the venue's point of view?
Monitors.
Yeah.
Good PA, good backline, good sound engineer, good punters.
I think
you don't want much, do you?
We view it differently anyway. I think this is one of the difficulties we have with a topic like this, is that we view it from the point of view of us as going to play them, like, and the experience we have of a particular venue might be entirely different to what the crowd's experience is, because we're not getting the same service there, you know. How they treat you as a customer, we probably don't really see unless we go to the gig ourselves as a gig goer. When you're playing, you can have an awful experience or a great experience, which can be completely different to what the audience gets.
And usually, as a kind of smaller venues that we play, your sound guy's priority is generally going to be the fans that are there, because it's not like high-end, massively great equipment, so they're compromising. So you're never going to get great sound on stage, and you get a great sound watching. Somebody's going to have to compromise, and you're going to always favour the fan because it's them that's paying the money. So there's always a little bit of a line to balance with that, I think.
I think, again, yeah, like one of the unique things about being a gigging musician is that you never really get to ever hear what you sound like front of house when you're playing. It's the one thing you never know, and even if somebody records it, you still don't get to experience what you sound like from out there in the audience. We'll never know that sound, and we get like a totally different sound on the stage to what you get at the front of the house. That's always annoyed me. I want to know what I sound like from out there.
I think for as long as you can, all I really need is to be able to hear myself. It's the worst gigs are when you can't hear yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we can all agree, surely, that the worst sounding gig we ever played, or the worst sounding gigs we've ever played from our point of view. Again, this is weird because if you ever watch back sometimes footage of the gigs that you had really, really bad on-stage sound, it sounds great sometimes still out front because, you know, muscle memory kicks in, you just play through the songs and it can sound amazing out there, and you could have had the worst on-stage experience of your life. That, you know, the gig where we had no monitors at all, despite insisting to the sound guy that we definitely had no monitors, there was nothing coming out of them, and he insisted we went on anyway. That's probably
there was something coming out of them.
Yeah, despite the fact that there was clearly nothing coming out of those monitors.
That was that. I'm not going to name the venue anybody associated with it. That was a gig where we played with 3 other bands, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
funny enough, had monitors for their sets.
Yeah.
It was south of here.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that's the worst thing, I think, from from a band point of view, for me anyway, is just sounding bad on the stage or not being able to hear what you're doing, because it affects how you play for the rest of the night. If you know, you obviously want to be able to hear what you're doing, so you'll just play better, I think, when you've got monitors. You know, if you can hear what you're doing, strange enough, it helps a lot.
It's a confidence thing as well. It impacts your confidence. If you can't hear, then you're less likely to go running about the stage and having a great show and being carefree because you're worrying too much about what you're playing and trying to just like put your like gigs I've spent like bent down to the monitor like that, just trying to hear something.
Trying to hear something, even going up to your own amp, like trying to, is there anything coming out of it?
To explain for anyone that's actually not played in a band, may not understand that, because I know that I certainly was kind of, when I first started playing in bands, it was like, oh shit, that's a thing. Because as a punter, you think that the guys are hearing their amps behind them, and we're not. Like, it doesn't matter how big our amp is behind us, we're not hearing that.
Yeah.
Because you've got a drum kit there that's smashing cymbals into your ears and a big rumbly bass. You're not hearing a guitar amp there. It's coming out of a separate speaker, if you like, right in front of us. That's what those little blocks are in front of the stage. So that's where what we want. There's a separate mix coming from the sound desk coming out there.
The thing we like to put our foot on.
Yeah. I think Steve Harris puts his feet on that.
It does kind of help having the foot on the monitor, because you get closer to the monitor so you can hear yourself better.
Yeah.
There's definitely a reason behind it. But yeah, I mean, all the sound that you can hear on the stage pretty much coming out of that little box. So you want it to sound good, or at least be audible, you know. that's pretty much the minimum requirement, because we've had gigs as well in another venue even further south where there was monitors, but the sound coming out of them was so weak that it was almost inaudible.
Yeah.
It didn't really help. Didn't help that my pedal board packed in that particular night as well in the middle of the gig.
Yeah.
I think that there's not a worse fear than that, than when your rig goes down, because at our level we don't have roadies. There's nobody to help us.
No,
you're on your own.
You're your own tech, you know.
Yeah. So you have to figure shit out really quick and have a backup plan really quick. And if you don't, it's your arse is knitting buttons.
But we've spent a lot of time now trying to kind of refine our rigs down to a fair, like a sort of bulletproof, can be fixed easily if anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
The simplest of chains. That's the goal now, really, is to make sure everything just keeps running.
It needs to be really simple, because we don't have the luxury of having being able to shout somebody over to say, go and fix that.
Yeah. You know, you got a full backup rig and a tech who can just flick a switch and you're onto your B rig. That's great, but we don't have that luxury, so you have to be able to fix things on the fly.
And usually it's a simple thing, but what happens instantly, as soon as you've got no sound coming in your guitar, you panic. So the simple thing that it is, you're not seeing it, because you're just shitting yourself, because there's a crowd of people wanting to hear you. And you can't always. I suppose it's a decision where the band makes, whether they stop and wait for you, or just continue on.
Yeah, you have to make that call at some point. Is this salvageable, or can we continue on here? Or do we need to like stop for technical difficulties? I mean, nobody wants to stop the gig, but sometimes you just have to because it's not going to work.
We were caught out in those unfortunate circumstances at the last gig when Steve had some technical problems just as well about to go on.
Yeah, I mean, that was the perfect kind of moment for that because we hadn't really started. So it was a sort of false start, and then we got your rig up and running, and then just started the show from the start. So that nothing was. It wasn't really in the middle of the gig or anything. That would have probably changed the dynamic a wee bit there. I would have been more inclined to just keep going if it had gone down in the middle of the song. But seeing as it was right at the beginning of the opening number, it was, we'll just call it for 5 minutes till we fix it.
And in the interest of professionalism for those who are listening or watching, we cut the set short by one number just to make sure things didn't roll on and hold up the next act to on afterwards.
Yeah, you can't take the piss for that kind of stuff. And a lot of bands do. If you get into technical difficulties, you have to then adjust your set time to take that into account because you don't run into somebody else's set. That's just... And I wish lots more people understood that. That's fucking rude.
Yeah.
Just set.
We know what we're doing. We know conduct.
Get off the stage and let the next band on. That's simple stuff. It should be.
Yeah, when you're breaking down your gig after your set's finished, your priority is getting the fuck off the stage, not having a beer and chatting with your drummer.
If
your arse off the stage.
If anybody ever comes over to me straight after a set and I'm breaking down my side of the stage, if you ask me some questions and I might seem a bit curt with my response, that I'm kind of cutting you off a bit, it's really just because I have to get that done and get finished.
Yeah.
Come chat to me afterwards and I will talk all fucking night to you, but you have to get that bit cleared to let the next guy on, unless you're the headline, I suppose, in which case you might leave it for a bit, but you're still going to have to break the stuff down and get up the road with your gear, so it has to be done.
And usually, again, the venues that we're playing, the stages are small.
Yeah.
And so you will find sometimes that you'll be breaking down your gear and the other band's coming on while you're breaking down and they're setting up at the same time. So it can be awkward. So the quicker you're off, the better. I think we've got good at that. Not a lot of other bands are.
Yeah, we're pretty quick at that now. I think we've nailed that down speed-wise. But again, because we've worked on simplifying the rigs to make sure we don't have a ton of stuff to disconnect, and it's usually just everything's kind of plug and go now.
Yeah.
And that was intentional, for exactly those kind of reasons, Makes the breakdown and the setup a lot easier if you've got less stuff to fuck about with.
You have to be mobile and agile.
What we should probably talk about, I suppose, is any particularly good venues that we can name check. Ones that you've played that you really liked and why. I always enjoyed the Cat House in Glasgow.
The gear hump's a pain in the arse, but it is a great venue.
Yeah, sound on stage is always good.
It's a good big stage too.
Yeah, and you can get something out. Even the smaller audiences, you still can feel something out of the audience there. Mm-hmm. You can see them, which is good.
Sound guy is great. Backline's good too. So you get a good quality backline.
Yeah, but you always get a good on-stage sound. Mm-hmm. You can generally hear everything. It's a good spread of monitors. Wherever you go on the stage, you can hear, usually.
It's a good sized stage as well, so there's plenty of room to move about, and showcase yourself. So
one of the main things that define a venue being good or bad for me is how difficult and awkward it is to get there and to get shit in the venue.
Yeah,
it's easy if you park in front of it and you can get there reasonably easy. Yeah, man, I'm happy.
The Catty's usually a little bit of a logistics nightmare, but
anywhere in Glasgow is though. Any Glasgow venue, especially now with that stupid one way.
Yeah, the Classic Grand was the same. Classic Grand, good sound, but really, really awkward to get your stuff in and out of.
Yeah. Having said that, Sleazy's wasn't too bad for that because you could just park around the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, you've got to leave it. You've got on 100. You can't park there. You have to move somewhere else. So you have to fuck the car off someplace else, and it's finding somewhere. And with Glasgow, if you didn't get there the first time, you have to go round and round again because it's a system. Oh man, nightmare. Could be just because I don't know Glasgow that well. Edinburgh's a bit different. But
Sleazy's actually was another really good sound in there. I enjoyed Sleazy's.
Was I?
that was another one when my rig fucked up. And then it miraculously fixed itself.
That's true. The dodgy
That
cable.
was a funny one because we sound checked, and then as soon as we'd finished, the guy behind the sound desk, who really did give her a great on-stage sound last night, and from the punter's perspective, our out front sound was fantastic too. The guy who did the sound come up to her and said, "Bloody hell, lads, it's 1984 all over again."
Indeed it is.
That's funny. That was the last Great Dreamers shows we did, and my fucking rig packed up in Carlisle, and then your rig packed up in Glasgow.
That's right, huh?
That was always destined to have problems. It seemed on those shows.
9 times out of 10, it's a cable.
Yeah.
It's always pack a spare cable.
We always get through the gig somehow, you know. It might not be to the way we want to do it, but we manage to make things work and get it going.
Yeah, well, you can't just quit on it, can you? You just got to power through.
We've always got to the end of the show.
Yeah.
If something's gone wrong.
I think the main thing that's ever going to go bad with, from a guitar player point of view, because we use our own boost, because you can't rely on a sound man to boost you when you have a solo because they don't know the songs. So you do it yourself. And if you don't have that ability, then none of your leads are going to get heard and none of your harmony parts are going to get heard. That's the main fuck up for us.
It's an issue for us because most of our songs are based around the twin guitar thing, and it needs to be able to, you know, adjust levels at certain points in the songs. And without getting too technical about it, we've found out what works in terms of amplifiers and headroom and pedals and stuff, and we have a system now, so it's getting easier.
If it goes tits up in your cable die, you can always put a cable straight from your guitar into the amp, but it won't allow you to do all the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
So you have to, at that point, you're just kind of putting your head down and hope for the best.
But we've got the ability to do that. You know, we can easy enough just...
That's our fail-safe backup kind of thing.
Another one I really liked venue-wise was the Brickyard in Carlisle.
That was good as well, actually, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great gig, that. Yeah.
That was a bastard to get parked in as well, by the way, Carlisle.
Yeah.
Genau.
It depends. For the event we played, it depends on what time you got there, because me and Morlas got parked right next to it.
I can't even remember where we parked.
Oh, we did. We had
miles away. We were at the fucking castle.
We had the.
I think you did as well, Stu. I think you managed to get parked right next to the venue as well, because you were there soon enough.
Did we not? Yeah, I'm actually thinking, how did we do that? Did we have the one van, or did we go down in multiple vehicles?
No, we all went down separate in convoy.
Yeah. Kind of. Anyway, I know. You know, you went in your van, Stu, with various gear on board. Steve, your own vehicle. Billy, the same. I went on my missus and her car, and Swanson went on the train.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, I remember this now. Did you stay over with the rest of us, Steve? Or did you leave?
No, we went back on the road.
You were going to go and see Arch Enemy the following night, but ended up not going.
No, it was the same night.
All right.
It was the same night. We were toying with just finishing up at Carlisle and heading straight back up and going to see Arch Enemy in Glasgow. But I'd stayed for a few hours. And by the time we left, I was well oiled. We went for Nando's to soak up the beer and then went home.
That was a great show. I actually really enjoyed that. That was romantic.
I think if you can hang about after and have a beer, then that pretty much automatically makes it a good show.
We hung out with Bullets and Octane because we, bumped into. They came down that night, I think, because they were playing the next day. So
we played with them the night before or a couple of nights.
No, they played that same night. They were third from the top on the bill.
We met them in Spoons though, and there was some drinks at the venue as well.
Yeah. We met them in Spoons the following day and all.
Yeah.
beer, despite the fact they had a show in York that night.
Did we play with them the night before in Edinburgh?
I think it was the night before. Or was it the night before, or like 2 nights before? I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, we played with
Because
them
this was
before.
around about the time that, remember, Bannerman's got wrecked by that stupid little indie band.
Oh yeah.
Magic Carpet.
And Christian came down with the Bullets and Octane boys the next day, or a couple of days after. And met us. Yeah, if your venue offers you a fucking apartment above the venue to sleep in, don't wreck it.
Yeah, you know, we have to give props to Bannerman's for that. They at least look after their headline bands. You know, they'll give them some level of hospitality, which is always nice. A thing, and
if you turn up and somebody's going to feed you and give you booze, then fine, happy with that. That's brilliant. It very, very, very seldom happens. Very rarely do any venues do anything for the bands.
It's the way I gauge, I think, how these things work. Like the things I like and expect. I think if you turn up as the band to the venue, one of the most basic things that really annoys me, and there's a few things that annoy me, is if you're running the gig, whether you're the promoter or just the venue manager and it's your responsibility, make yourself known to the bands when they arrive. Because most of the time you've only ever communicated with them by phone or by email, so you don't know who this person is. If you see a band walking at your venue, go up and introduce yourself, and and then explain where things are. There's nothing worse than turning up at a venue and just you can't find anybody who works there, and you're trying to figure out if you can load in or whatever, and everybody's just fucked off. That happens quite a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like the most kind of catered for I think we've ever been is when we've done gigs for like biker clubs.
Yeah. Being fed is always good because, again, take into account most of the time you've travelled quite far. If we, hired the van and stuff, we're doing like a proper trek. You might start at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and you're not getting to the venue till the middle of the afternoon. You're hungry,
Mm-hmm. I think the Empty Head rally we did was great.
Yeah,
was a fun.
We've done 2 gigs for them. They're later on catering for us at both. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm talking about the most recent one we did.
The festival.
That was great. Pissing down the rain, shitty weather, but it was.
That was a really fun. That was a fun weekend though. The Trillions gig afterwards was great. Good times, man.
It was for you dirty bugger.
We should talk about what happened there, though. How that led to being Swanson covered himself in glory that night.
We should probably not talk about that particular night.
I think we should. He's not here to defend himself. He doesn't watch. He started inauspiciously. He started as we were leaving Rochdale by spilling 4-pack of beer that he had in his bag all over his trousers. Remember, we had to do a run at the Pride Market before we got to.
No, he allegedly spilled beer all over his clothes, his trousers, just his trousers, in his tent while sleeping.
Oh, I thought it was in the van he did it.
No, he was doing it while he was sleeping in his tent while we were in Rochdale the night before. Funny how it was only his trousers, though. And from what I remember, beer. I think me and him actually drank all of his beer.
I think it was beer. Although, to be honest, his piss probably smells exactly the same as beer anyway. So.
We also, in that particular run, got to make use of the services. So good motorway services are always appreciated. Or anywhere you can stop for, the 3 S's.
Get a shower.
I did. Showering at the side of the motorway.
On pamper session in the toilet.
Anywhere, any venue that can produce me a shower, I am eternally grateful for.
Aye, that doesn't bother me.
we tend not to get them at the size of the venues that we play, but I know certainly in larger venues, it's more a common occurrence in the dressing rooms of a shower.
I mean, when we're out on a hole, so to speak, and we've got another one to do. the following night and we're away from home, yes, a shower is very, very handy. Thank you.
Yeah.
I get baby wipes, can go, man.
I don't know. Again, I generally think, this is probably just bollocks, but I play better when I'm feeling fresh.
Oh, God. Way better when I'm clean.
It's a much nicer atmosphere in the van when you're clean as well.
Yeah,
we are a
yeah.
very hygienic band, by the way.
This is true.
We are.
You're stuck together in a van for long lengths of time. The smell that you can produce after sweating on stage is something.
True. Yeah, pack a spare t-shirt. Gigging and
I feel like I do.
Well, again, I suppose we have to mention Trillions here, and Trillions is always good because Trillions always has an enthusiastic audience. Always.
Just Newcastle in general does.
Of course it does, man.
Trillions is good.
Yeah, always had great gigs in Trillions. Even, not even, and I don't want to sound disparaging here because it's not meant to, but I mean the sound on stage is not the best.
Again, they don't have monitors. They have kind of wall speakers that aren't really monitored. There's not actual monitors on the
It's a
floor.
bit
So you can't.
They're ceiling mounted. You can see them above the lights.
And it's really just vocals coming through that.
Yeah.
I mean, but other than that, but it always has a great atmosphere.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just one of those unqualifiable things. Like nothing, you can't make that intentionally. That's just a thing that happens in a place.
And it's got a car park underneath it.
This is true. Loading in and out of Trillions is actually pretty easy and good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. Basically, park the van right at the fire escape, gear out, up the stairs, onto the stage. Done.
Venues that have easy access to get your gear in and out is amazing.
Yeah.
You don't want to be doing like a massive walk when you're carrying like all kinds of heavy shit, and you don't really want to. I hate when you have to go through the audience with the stuff, especially if you're like lower down the bill and you have to get your stuff off, and there's still like a crowd to see the rest of the bands, and you have to get right through a crowd with like a fucking Marshall stack, and that's a pain in the ass.
The venue will remain nameless as much as we absolutely love playing them. We've already given them a shout. The venue will remain nameless. When you have to go through the bar and there's a sporting event on, and you're trying to take a cabinet through the, or
just
a rack of drum cymbal stands through an audience who are watching the rugby or the football or whatever, that can be a logistics nightmare too.
Navigating through crowds of people is not good. You want at least some kind of, even just a walkway you can get up and down with your stuff, is really nice.
To the side, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we played with Blaze Bailey, Wolfsbane, the back end of 2017, trying to get our gear off the stage and through the crowd was a bit of a headache. Rough. It was worth it. It was worth the whole lot because that was a great gig.
Yeah.
And plus gigging with them as well, top notch. But it was, oh bloody hell, you're effectively having to shove people out the way just to wheel a cabinet.
I mean, it was sold out, so it was just a fire hazard. At that point, getting out was rough.
In stark contrast to LaBelle and Gel, brilliant venue for getting your gear in and out the stage.
Yeah.
Good venue in general, actually. That's another one.
Yeah, I like LaBelle.
Yeah, twice times we played there, sound was great.
Sound's always great on the stage, and
the fact that you can stand at the side of the stage and watch Diamond Head from 3 feet away is brilliant.
That's just one of the best days. Well, actually, a couple of days, I suppose, because we did it a couple of times. But
second time was more fun, but yeah.
Second time
there is a brilliant photograph in the public domain of when we played with Diamond Head of Brian Tatler, the riffmaster, stand there giving a classic guitar pose, and at the side of the stage, there's the three of us watching him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah,
I had a bottle of beer in my mouth.
We've had some great gigs in LaBelle. That's been a really good venue for us. Always busy.
It's just a really nice general setup.
Yeah. The only downside of LaBelle is that getting your equipment to the venue from the main road is a pain in the ass. But once
because it's not really on a main road. So it's kind of.
Once you're in there, though, brilliant.
Yeah, it's just. I think the thing is, if you know kind of the city, there's places to park. This applies to Glasgow and Edinburgh, but quite often they're far away.
Yeah.
So that's when you have to think about what gear you have, what gear do you really need, and do you really need a Marshall 50-watt Silver Jubilee head? Probably not, but it looks cool. But that's when you realise that looking cool and practicality don't mix.
Yeah.
Because really a little lunchbox head would be ideal for that kind of caper. But yeah, you have to make a choice, don't you?
Yeah. Having more money helps.
Yeah. If both was an option. Both was an option would be good.
Festivals. Yeah. What do you think about festivals for playing?
I thought, Steve, you can't comment here. Sorry. Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild. The logistics. I mean, it was a long distance one, but the logistics and the facilities there were absolutely top notch.
It was really good. I also liked the fact that you could effectively drive your van right to the back of the stage and just unload straight into a door onto the stage.
Yeah.
There was no punters around it. It was completely empty. It was barricaded off. It was just, you could just drive right to the back door, unload your stuff in and out, and then park up in the car park again. And that was great.
There was no, shall we say, obstacle course. You know, if you had, you know, we done an interview after we unloaded the gear and took it back to our holding place, put a tent up, etc. Everything was just so easy to find.
Yeah, it was.
It was well thought out. It was brilliant.
I'll give him a
It's a shame. It's a shame you couldn't have been there, Steve, because you would have enjoyed it.
You would have had a good show, that one. That was a good show. That was just, again, it was fun to play. A little bit of technical difficulties at the beginning when the monitors again went down, but the guy fixed it. He didn't fuck about. He just got in there and got it changed.
I mean, shit's always going to go wrong, and that's the test, is if they can fix it or not.
Need to know that your techs are on the ball and that they're going to get in there and usually swap it out. You know, just don't try and spend ages fixing it. Just get in there, make a couple of changes, and get it going.
It was a great gig too. I mean, like I said, Steve, I think you would have really, really enjoyed it. We played well. Yeah, it didn't feel right not having you on stage with us as well. Yeah. But we still carried it off. We did very well. And we had a few drinks afterwards and had a bloody good laugh.
That's the key to it, man. If you can stay and have beer after, all gigs are good. If you have to pack up your shit in the night and go home, it's crap.
Two members of this band managed to really, really embarrass themselves that night, and they're not participating in the podcast. One just being incredibly drunk, and the other one reenacting a scene from the film Oliver.
What?
Yeah, Swanson found a lass with an umbrella, took the umbrella off, and started reenacting a scene from Oliver when he was pissed.
As you do.
He's done much worse than that. It's not bad.
I kept people entertained, I suppose.
I had a great time that night. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a good weekend.
Wildfire. First Wildfire we did. That was good.
Yeah, once again, man, I had a great night.
Aye.
I always have fun when I can, like, just have a bit of a party after the gig, you know.
We had a party before.
What's that?
You started the party before. Well, yeah. Billy Dobson started the party specifically.
No, that was afterwards, man. Because we were in the mid-afternoon that day. And
was that after the gig?
Yeah, we went to do that interview for Meridian FM. And while we were waiting on that, Billy Dobson fed us some rather dubious alcohol. Yeah,
he nobbled us.
We
nobbled us for the interview.
Drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, with a festival, with Wildfire as well, I suppose, I like anywhere that has, again, clearly marked facilities and an ability to... You're coming onto a site that you don't know. You need somebody to direct you. And sometimes some of them are better than others at that, you know.
It was a winner. I mean, you know, we could take your van to directly behind the stage from where we were located on the site. I had a dedicated campsite for the bands, and there was catering, there was showers, and having the 2 stages. Well, yeah, there was 3. There was another one outside, and then the bar in the middle between the 2. Brilliant.
I don't think there's any excuse now for a festival to get that kind of stuff wrong. There's been enough examples of it done properly that all you have to do is copy it. You shouldn't really be trying to reinvent the wheel or making an arse of it, because the template for doing it exists and doing it well. Yeah. And they're all kind of doing like the mini Vlacken kind of thing. It's always like a sort of scaled down version of that now, I think.
I think the key is just to not overreach yourself, to know where your limits are.
We've talked about this.
Limitations are.
We've talked about this a lot, like the merits of the one-day festival over like the trying to do it over too many days, especially if you don't really have the pool for headline bands. There's pros and cons of all of these things, I suppose. Granted, I've always enjoyed when you can stay the night and have a party. One of the best things about being in a band is being able to have a laugh, especially after the show when you're feeling kind of either really tense or really relaxed, depending on how the gig went.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling really tense,
we had a great laugh at that Wildfire. It was fantastic. I do remember on the Saturday night though, I think you'd had too many, Steve.
100%. I had a disco nap. I required a disco nap.
I'd had quite a few as well. This is on the Saturday night. I think it was about 8 o'clock or so on the Saturday night. I decided to get a bite to eat, so I got a big greasy burger, and I wear a leather jacket as well. Okay, and you being vegan, I just hear you saying, "Where is a little Geordie bastard? I want to give him a hug." And then you just appeared around the corner and just give us a big hug while I've got this bloody burger in my hand and wearing a leather jacket. And you're a vegan.
See, we don't judge in this band. Live and let live. We can have difference of opinions and still love each other.
I don't know about that,
that was, I recall, because the Friday we got pretty drunk after we played, and then I went home. So I was able to recover, because it was just down the road. And then came back on the Saturday morning. Yeah, so came back home back down on the Saturday, and you guys were, well, some of you were more worse for wear than others. For that I was going to say, well, not name names.
Billy was as grey as an aircraft carrier all day.
There was a white face. Yeah, there was some pale faces when I rocked up. And then, I must have just went for it. I can't really remember much of the Saturday during the day. I must have went for it. And I can remember having to go for a nap before Oliver Dawson-Saxon came on.
Yeah, we stayed all 3 days, that one, didn't we? We played the Friday.
Yeah, stay until me and you were just wanting to stay for the Tigers on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And it was tough. It was a tough stretch to get to that point.
And I knew that Saturday was going to be a good one, because I woke up at like 6:30 in the morning, and I had a little fold-up chair. I got the fold-up chair out, sat there in the pouring rain, got a couple of cans of beer. Next thing I hear is another tent. I've got a can of beer in my hand. It's 7:30 in the morning with a can of beer in my hand. Pouring rain. Come on, Stu.
The Saturday was good. Again, weather was a bit shit. It was kind of cold and windy, but here in Scotland,
you
got fish. I actually came across some photos of that when I was clearing out my Dropbox the other day. Some good ones. One of me and you and Mickey Crystal's too.
Oh yeah.
After the Tigers gig.
Yeah, it was good. One thing I like about festivals is you get to like bump into these kind of dudes that you don't see very often, but you become friendly with. Yeah. Your musician-y pals, because everybody's sort of in the same scene. You mostly bump into them at gigs, and everybody gets a chance to have a bit of a catch up at festivals. More so than like house shows, because there's obviously more bands on the bill, so there's more likelihood of there being somebody actually playing with you.
Yeah.
So I always enjoy that.
I still would probably put that first Wildfire as my favourite gig we've ever played.
Nah, see, I've got mixed feelings about that because I didn't have a particularly good one.
That's because you're a low E string without a tune on gig. That aside,
There is a little bit of a. I know it's been just shy of 3 years now, but there is a little bit of a sad feeling about it because it was Adam's last gig. You know, I mean, as much as we've moved on, you know, and Steve came in, Swanson came in, and you know we've done well out of it, etc. You know, Adam's still part of the family.
Yeah,
it was a good send off. Though I think you're gonna have a last gig. That was a pretty good last gig to have.
I and no. Again, like I had the technical issues, and secondly, I think because at the time we knew it was Adam's last gig, and we hadn't been able to say it, and we'd already started working on new stuff with Steve that we couldn't do because we had to do the old set with Adam because Adam was still there, and you know at the time, so it was kind of strangely muted. It was a good send off, and it was just a mixed feeling gig for me, you know. But I still had a great weekend, you know.
Oh, we all did.
When you're handed a beer straight off, when you come off stage, somebody hands you a beer, you know you're fine. It's all good.
So yeah,
what was it that time? It was Piston Head Lager or
Piston
something.
Head, yeah, which was a
Swedish lager. It was brilliant. Great stuff.
Yeah, it was good.
Any venue that takes care of you is as a performer.
We don't ask for much. We're not asking for fucking caviar.
A few drinks, some food, and you know, it would be really nice if accommodation was considered a lot more by places. You know.
Yeah.
I get the logistics of it, but you know, I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard for a venue to cover a bit more of that. I think I'm in wishful thinking territory here, but
yeah,
I'd quite.
That's the good thing about festivals is because you can just take your tent.
Yeah,
and you're good to go.
Having said that, you know, when we done the Running on Empty last year, they had accommodation arranged for us, but didn't tell us until we already had our tent finished.
Did they?
Oh no, that was that was Ant and Wendy had sorted accommodation for us, but they weren't part of the biker group. They were in another biker
right.
club.
Yeah, they're just mates.
Yeah, they're in another biker club. They just went because they were, you know, pals. So
that was a great gig. From the minute we turned up, it was like, there's the beer. And you know what? The sound at that gig, that's probably the best sound. I think one of the best sounding gigs we've ever had on stage.
It was a really good stage sound, you know, and it was brilliant. It was well arranged. Again, got to bump into some old pals, had some fun chats with other bands. Just good times, man. That's why we do it, innit? You know, part of the reason why you do it is because it's fun. You can have a laugh with your mates out on the road, and there's a lot more stories I wish we could share.
Yeah, but there's a few that we keep under wraps.
Yeah, obviously.
Got to keep some mystery.
Yeah.
I still think we should share that one for Trillion. But
no, I'm putting my foot down on that.
I respect your wishes.
I'm a gentleman, you know. What can I say?
We don't have to involve that part of it. Just flattening.
That's kind of pertinent to the whole thing. So we'll just not do
it.
Kind of. Right, we're reaching the countdown timer, so we're going to have to wrap up anyway.
Cool.
This has been an informative discussion about venues. Anybody got any last thoughts?
No, I think it's simple. Just look after a band that's coming to see you and play at your venue, and respect the fact that they've maybe travelled a long way. Put a beer in their hand.
If you're going to turn up, if you're going to do it properly. Don't scrimp on the sound, or you know, make it
and promote. If you're a promoter, promote.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Like put bums on seats. That's kind of what your job is.
I think we're looking more now to putting on some more of our own gigs. We kind of attempted that this year. Obviously, it's not going to happen straight away.
The world has conspired against us for that one.
Stopped, but there will be more of an effort made in the future to probably slightly DIY, more of our own gigs. Just because I suppose
You're more in control of it,
yeah,
of the outcome. And if it does go tits up, then you can only blame yourself.
there's places that we would like to play that we probably won't ever get a chance to play.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. So that, you know, the music industry by its nature has lots of cliques. It's still very much a who you know, and getting involved in certain things can be a challenge. So if we haven't come to play in your particular town, it's not because that we don't want to play it. It's because you quite often can find yourself locked out of playing certain places that we will try and overcome a bit more by putting
if your face doesn't fit, basically.
When it comes to being a band, when it comes to being musicians, we are hard people. We will play anywhere. We will put up with the shit of logistical nightmares, etc. We will come and play. The problem is that some venues, some establishments, some organisations simply do not want us there.
Yeah, I mean,
reasons are not disclosed, and we don't know either.
Yeah, you can't really take it hugely personally because it's the same for everybody. I mean, you're either part of a certain circle or you're not, and everybody's fighting their own little war with that kind of stuff as to trying to break into new places. There's a lot of bands out there all fighting for very, very, very small amounts of gigs. So I think maybe in that respect, doing it yourself a bit more and inviting these bands in who currently find themselves in a similar position, if we all come together and put on our own shows, then you can break that down a little bit, which will hopefully be better for the audience as well because they will have more options.
Different bands playing even normally saying the same old shit.
Yeah, instead of seeing the same bands booked for the same things year in, year out, you know, just get a bit more variation. Cool.
Indeed.
Right, that's venue chat.
Cool.
Covered. Anybody want to throw any more suggestions at us? We can do all this shit. Check out Bandcamp, check out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of crap. We're everywhere. Tantrum Scotland. That's everything. Thank you. Bye.
Good night.